truth, yeah, ruthless truth. Get down, it could go bad for you. Hit like, comment, subscribe, you know what to do. Be cool, city lights shining so bright. Fine dining nights feels right. Flights to places far from sight. Get right, ruthless truth, yeah, ruthless truth. Get down, it could go bad for you. In the city where we move, stay cool. Underneath the neon glow, life is fast but take it slow. Every moment like a show. Let's go. Dancing through the night, we got energy flows we can't hide. Feel alive, we outside. Moments fleeting but we shine. In this rhythm we align. Time flies. Moments fleeting but we shine. In this rhythm we align. Time flies. Ruthless fleeting but we shine. In this rhythm we align. Time flies. Ruthless truth, yeah, ruthless truth. Get down, it could bad for you. In the city where we move, stay cool. Stay cool.
Hey, nobody bigger than the program.
What's up, YouTube? How y'all doing? Time to get to the bottom of this motherfucking investigation. And today's investigation is, should the manosphere, red pill, and men in general continue to let women eat at the table? And eat at the table means to continue to have these conversations when it's really men trying to figure out men, or men trying to correct men, or men trying to advise men, or have the conversation about things that a men going through. Should we continue to let these women come in and participate? In my opinion, the woman coming in these conversations is counterproductive. I just don't think they add value. I mean, yeah, they give us their perspective on how they view us and stuff. Okay, but we already knew that, right? We already know how women view us. We already know the woman's stance on feminism and all these things. Them coming to the panels right now, having these conversations, a bit involved in these conversations, we know what they stand. We know what they stand for. But yet we continue to come in, and they continue to infiltrate. They continue to disrespect. They continue to overtalk. They continue to get loud. They continue to, get their masculinity. And it's, in my opinion, it's counterproductive. It's called manosphere for a reason. And like I said, I love women, man. But when it comes to man talk, when it comes to simulation on what us men got to get right, I don't think it's ideal to have a woman inserting or inputting into this conversation, because they're selfish. They're going to make it about them. And that's the problem I have with the women coming on these panels and these conversations. The whole panel, everything is being about them. Oh, well, man do this too. Well, man do that. And then it becomes counterproductive. And I'm not saying that men, we yell a little bit, but we do. But that's between us. We're here to get our shit right. We're here to get our shit together. I believe that's what this space was created for men to come in and vent their grievances, or ask for advice, and then other men would chime in or pour in to that man or to them men. That's what particularly the manosphere was created for. But I believe, and the red pill and all that stuff, right? But I believe once we allow women to infiltrate, to get in there it's just become one big chaos, because we end up having to what? Cater to her emotions. Some men's gonna take her side. Well, men, it's your fault. Then we start choosing sides. Then I think a ruthless. See, we see the women running over here doing that. If I have 5 dudes on this panel, ain't no woman fit to run up here. And if one do come, she got to be respectful. But I'm even starting to think I should let her up if we have men on here trying to do or have manly conversations. Because women take things wrong. Every time we're talking about maybe what we don't really like about the way the women are, doesn't mean we hate you. Or it doesn't mean anybody hurt us. We're just expressing our grievances, really amongst ourselves. But we let you guys in to have these conversations. And the first thing you do is when we're addressing whatever our grievances are to each other, you jump in and say, and make it all about you. Now we're misogynistic. Now we're this. That is counterproduction. That is counterproductive. The whole point of this place is to be productive, is to have production. And to be productive would be when men deal with men and men have grievances on whatever they have grievances for. Some men have to help other men, and that's what this is for. But when you have a woman after woman coming on here, oh, he's a bitch, oh, he's a hoe, oh, he hate women, who hurt him, then the message gets lost in translation. And it's happening over and over and over and over again. The women should have their own section where they can air their grievances. Right? And then if we do want to have the conversation with women, right, then it should be offline. But, I just think that's where manosphere made their mistake. Red pill as well. Because once you let the women in, then the simps came in, right? The betas came in and on their heel. And now what we have is a disgruntled platform where everybody trying to fight for how we should treat women or how we should cater to women. And that's that's the poison that kind of destroyed the manosphere. Because a lot of those guys start taking sides with the women. And they kind of just ditch the ideology. Red pill is breaking up all over the place. Red pill has they got different things. Because once again, a lot of red pill men are taking the side of women. Some are sticking to the talking points. Others are taking the side of the women. And then you have Taz, right? He's a woman defender, the pro-women men. So once again, this is just something I don't know. I'm all about production. I'm all about solutions. But how can we have a solution when we are constantly fighting and fussing over trying to get through a conversation? And I'm going to bring up a video and show what I can talk about. And I'm going to back it up with a video on how women is prime. What's up? That's so Sigma. I don't know. Am I Sigma? I don't know what I am. I just know that, I just don't think men and women get along on these panels. And this is supposed to be the manosphere. And women are coming to infiltrate it, and they're bringing a lot of problems. So let's see this video. I'm going to show this video, and kind of you guys get the gist of it.
Absolutely, sir.
Wi-Fi been acting up because all this capping that's been going on. But respectfully, y'all sisters, like respectfully too, this from Jesus, like I'm grabbing a hold of wheel. Y'all liars, man. Y'all are huge liars. Like y'all go to church, but your best friend a 304 and you always outside with her. You don't want your man to be gay, but your best friend is gay. And you support the LGBT community. You don't want no coon or your kid dating outside, but you'll use feminism, sexual liberation, and a court system against y'all, man. Y'all want everything and nothing at the same time. It happens all the time. You want all the power, no responsibility. So y'all keep asking what's wrong with the man, but never look back at you and say what's wrong with the woman who raising the kids. So most of everything y'all say are lies. If you can get Cash App, if you can get stripper money, if you can be an only fans woman, if you can get a man to fix your car, if you can get a step crash dummy, why can't you keep a father in the house? Why can't you keep a husband in the house? Y'all are liars. Y'all prioritize yourself over the man, and then when you don't get what you want, you play victim and you make the man the predator and you say he the bad man. But somehow these men who no good keep getting inside of you and getting you pregnant. But the man who good, like my brother Truth keeps saying, y'all look over those men. He not good enough for you. His pee-pee might be too small, he might be too heavy, he might be too short. It's something wrong about him that you keep finding. But what we found out every single time is that even Michael B. Jordan is a problem, even Shamar Moore is a problem, even Tyrese is a problem, even Tom.
And this is something we got to keep having the conversation, repetition over and over again. And the women don't give a fuck about that shit. They don't care. So what? Deal with it. All right? That's how they look at it. But this is what happens when you let them into these conversations. They're going to watch how Ali's break the whole, everything Kali talking about, everything's going to be about, is going to make it about the women.
Brady is a problem. Y'all find every single thing to find wrong with a man and every single reason to leave instead of every reason to stay, because y'all don't have no responsibility to the community but yourself. Everything is about your feelings. Most of these brothers, I know for a fact, that went through hell with sisters and went, as long as she don't deal with no other man when I get in this car, I ain't gonna let her go. I'm still gonna deal with her. But y'all will find every little reason to leave your man, and you the problem. You don't want to acquiesce. You don't want to cook. You don't want to clean. You don't want to get that man head. You don't want to get that man sex. You don't want to get that man peace. But then when he step out because you unfaithful, oh, he cheated on me. Most of what y'all say respectfully are lies, because even if the community is dysfunctional, I'll ask the sisters this, and this is how I know y'all disingenuous. Do women and kids flourish better under the control of men or under the control of women? Sisters.
You know,
It's a question.
Men,
I'm asking the sisters. No, brothers, don't answer it at all, because they want leaders. Do sisters flourish better under the control of men or under the control of themselves? Do kids and children flourish better under the control of a man or under control of a woman?
it just depends.
It's
No, it
definitely
don't
the
depend.
man.
No,
You
it,
gotta
that,
pick one.
it
You gotta
definitely
pick one.
depends,
It
because
ain't
you
no
can have a
depends.
shitty, you can have a
So,
shitty man that does not know
you
anything and
answer.
just
You get it
a man-
depends. You get it depends. What's her name? I don't respect. Is it Ravon or
It's the man, and
it's man? Okay,
the
hold on.
man is
Stop right there. Stop right there. Samara. Is it Samara or Samara?
Samara.
Who do women and children flourish better under?
Men.
A man
The man.
or men, right? Should men
Yes.
control women?
Control.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I believe the man is the head of the
No,
household.
I'm gonna ask you again, because I use control. I use it on purpose, right? You said the man under the control of man. Should men control women?
That's a tough question.
And that's right. Mrs. Owens, should men control women?
I don't think it's about control. I think
Well,
it's about
that's what
mutual respect.
you already answered it.
Now, I don't think men should try to control women. I think that's extreme, right? I think that's a bit too. I think men should have the ability to correct women on certain things, right? But I don't think they should control. You can't control nobody. You can't control. Men shouldn't be trying to control, right? Because a woman is responsible for her own actions and she's grown, right? So what we can do is advise or have conversation on what boundaries we lay and support each other on. But control. I think control is the wrong word, because ain't no woman gonna control me, and I ain't gonna control another woman, right? That's impossible. But what we can do is have conversations when we're in a relationship and air out our grievances and then try to come up with solutions. But at times women really don't want to hear it. They just want to, keep going and fuck it.
Miss Ramon, should men control women?
Only because I think a little different. Control, I would say yes. It depends
And
on how
we
you
already know
look at
Kelly
it.
answer. Most women are the problem. They want a leader that they can control. They don't want the man to
Yeah.
control them. They want to do whatever they want, what they want. They want the man to do whatever they say. The emotional intelligence, the communication, emotional availability is all about what y'all care about. It has nothing to do with the man. And you would rather pick outside than be under the coverage of a man where you will probably flourish and be the best version of yourself, and he'll be the best version of himself, and the kids will be the best version of themselves. But y'all race to the bottom. Y'all try to see how bad y'all can do.
By the
And
way, you
after
don't know
y'all
my
done-
answer.
After y'all done, y'all go, you know what? I'm traumatized. I got PTSD. I'm going to therapy. I'm going to God. Not so you can actually get better, so you can just repackage your reputation for somebody to be with you. You go get a good man so you think you're a good woman, but you still that same woman who inside that was outside. Because you know how we know that? Y'all tell us to stop entertaining hoes, but all your friends is hoes. Y'all still going to the concerts. Y'all still going to the club. You still got to be outside. You still got to be on girls' trips. Nothing y'all do that you can brag about has nothing to do with bettering the community. Better.
Now, here's where I have to say Ali just wasting his breath, because women's job is not to better the community. Right? That's not their job. Right? Woman's job is to, if she finds a husband, and maybe procreate and stay within that family structure, right? That's pretty much what they're supposed to do, right? Women are not called on to fix the community. Women are not called on, the Black Panthers, the Nation of Islam, the civilization of nations. Women weren't called on to grab guns and come out and check dudes, and that's not their. That's not what their role is innately. But women are called on to do is to, stay loyal to her husband and to the journey, which she signed up for. So that's fair. She signed up for that. She took those wedding vows and she vowed to be with that man, to eternity, whatever, right? And that's where I do say that she should be held accountable to herself. She should hold some accountability to herself, that she needs to make sure that she's not leaving that man for petty reasons. It needs to be the most egregious situation. If not, she needs to stand there. But when we get into these conversations with these women, they don't hear that, right? All they hear is, you're attacking us. And Ali, he made some points of, well, women, they hang with 304s. They hang with all these type of people. Okay. Women aren't righteous souls to push the righteousness of truth. It's not what they're built to do. Neither a man to do that, but women aren't to do that either. So if their friends are hoes, that's their friends. Now, granted, if her friends are being 304 and she's not indulging with her friend, then she's every right to have that friend. But if she's indulging, then yeah, that's a bad influence, and then it's going to be problems. But women aren't. See, this is the thing about women, right? Back in the day, a lot of women didn't do things because they were happy with having their own house, having their own kids, their own family. They didn't have to be out in the streets getting ran through by men. They can, have what they want. But now, since women have gained greater access, they want more, right? They see more, they want more, and they think they deserve more. And this is where we at. Women want more, and they will continue to want more. So them coming in these conversations and trying to eat at the table with men is a waste of time, because they're not going back to the kitchen. They're not going back to the family, the nuclear family. They're not going to give up their freedom. They're not going to give up their autonomy. They're not going to give up their equal rights that they fought for. They're not going to go back to cater to a man. That's not going to happen. These women will continue to push for independence, self-love, and self-preservation. And that's and to them, a revelation.
The man, better than the kid or better than yourself. Everything is about some 304 stuff. If I'm a liar, the only thing y'all can brag about is being a man. It's going to be about the money you got, the degree you got, the car you got, the house you got, but you can't brag about nothing else that's feminine or woman. So can you tell me what is so valuable? Any sister on here that has nothing to do with being a man, has nothing to do with your degrees, has nothing to do with a house and a car, just like a man, that makes you valuable to a man.
And well, and to break that point, let's break that point down. Women do not add value to men. Men add value to women. Men see a woman as valuable to him. So she doesn't have to add it. Once, if she sees that our value is she's beautiful and agreeable, we see her as valuable, right? Being a good follower, things we see her valuable. It doesn't we're not looking for a woman to add value to our lives, because our lives are already what we get value from is our economic strength, morality, integrity, all that other shit. But when you add a woman in there, she's there to help forward the legacy and companionship. So we deem her valuable. The man looks at the woman as valuable. She does not add value. We say, you're valuable to me, let's go. And then we add value to her, by putting a roof over her head, making, placating to make her stay as comfortable and as less confrontational as possible. So yeah, this is what a woman don't have to work to add value to a man. We make them valuable and we add value to them.
Somebody really, really did you
Somebody
bad.
hurt me. Somebody hurt me, right?
No, seriously.
Remember,
Like, I studied psychology. You came on here gunning like, y'all liars.
I was in mental health for 15 years.
That's fine. It just goes to show, like, you're speaking from experience of the.
And that's counterproductive. That's counterproduction. See, because she took it personal. Now she's going to defend her position, and she's going to fight, and they're going to, for a whole 20 minutes, go back and forth.
The women that you've experienced, that's insane.
Now watch, after this is done, Kelly, eventually she's going to get to, you sassy.
I don't do that because my entire platform of 900,000 followers, I take up for men. So I absolutely won't. I absolutely won't.
You already made it ad hominem. All y'all can keep.
I absolutely won't. You just don't know the content I do.
You already said it, man, and I triggered you, right? Because you
did not trigger. You don't have access to my emotions.
Well, what is the proof?
You came on triggered.
So what's the proof that I was hurt?
You came on triggered. You spoke to everybody on the platform.
So substantiate how I'm hurt.
You spoke to everybody on the platform. We're having a conversation.
How the individual with this green hat up here that has 2 successful businesses, has a family.
That's fine. I have 4 successful businesses.
Edify people and talk about the actual nature of women.
That's right, J Hud. Stay tapped in. I see you. I see you tapped in. Yeah, but we got, and this is the kind of production I'm talking about, right? These two just up here. Ali said a soliloquy about the way he feel about the women, behaviors, and she leads off with who hurt you. You know what I mean? And that's why I'm wondering, and then the bunch of yelling, just a bunch of yelling back and forth. She's cutting him off. He's cutting her off. She's triggered. He's triggered. And nobody understands what shit they're saying. All she keeps saying is, yeah, who hurt you? And this is why this is the way I look at what happens when you have the females on the panel. They get personal. They get, and it's understandable. See, I expect women to be women. I'm not trying to sit here and say women need to be like men and have the same, I would say, demeanor as men. You know, I'm not saying that. What I am saying is, though, as men, I think we should further the conversations with our women, because they can't handle these conversations without getting offended or taking it personally. And in my opinion, these women are going to defend feminism. And I'm not saying that it's a bad thing. Like, women, like, they should converse among women. Men should converse among men. I just said women are dividing up the space. They're dividing up the space. Any man comes up and says anything to hold them accountable, they're getting you up out of there. They're going to turn the whole panel against you and get you up out of there.
Man, tell me how I'm hurt.
That's the actual nature of the women that you've encountered. Your mother, your sister, your ex-girlfriends, maybe your daughters, your nieces, your best friend. Because you came in, hold on, you came in, but you won't allow me to speak.
Tell me how
you won't allow, and that's why he used that sassy word, because he know. So back to when you first came on the podcast. Y'all was having that conversation. I think this is what the women was talking about.
How am I hurt? We're still waiting on that. How am I hurt?
I can't even speak. You won't allow me to speak, so you got it.
Yes, I am. I'm at you high now.
But how can you?
No. You said I got it.
Are you listening to comprehend? Or are you listening to understand?
Interrupting. If I stop, she's gonna stop. If I talk, she's gonna interrupt.
Are you listening to respond or listening?
I got it.
And the gaslighting doesn't work here either.
You said I got it.
I literally make content for this, but not being like you.
Hey, you want to talk or you want to let me talk? Which one we gonna do?
You just. Oh my God.
You said you got it.
I won't say sassy. I'll say delusional.
I'm gonna stop. Go ahead. Why? She gonna stop talking because
you don't need to stop. Go ahead. Listen. I can't even communicate with you. I would have to lower my intellect to communicate with you because you won't allow it. You have experienced such fucked up women in your lifetime that your dynamics and your viewpoint of women, you came on a platform with prestigious women that don't live the life of the women that you're used to, women that are not hoes, women that are not judgmental, women that take care of their men, women that love the black man. You came on here tearing us, ripping us apart to shreds because you were triggered by a woman that has nothing to do with us. We don't have nothing to do with what you experienced.
Tell me what I was wrong
this
about.
Does not apply to us. Get on that phone and call that woman that hurt you. Get on the phone and call your mom. Get on the phone and call your aunt. These women on this platform, including myself, did not.
And this is the kind of production I'm talking about. Bitch, you don't care about that shit. He made a point, then y'all supposed to break his point down. But women can't do that. They get triggered emotionally. They feel like they gotta defend themselves. Then they go, and they fight. Now they start fighting back with, well, somebody hurt you. That was sassy. That was because she can't substantiate her argument. And once again, we're not calling on women to do this. This is not your role. When men talking amongst men, we handle that shit. We could break. Ali make a soliloquy. Okay, let's break this shit down. Now, granted, men do disagree with men. We are not a monolith, so a lot of men don't agree with Ali, etc. But, I don't know. The manosphere needs to be, but when it's men on men talking and we yelling or whatever, that's amongst men. So we could work this shit out. But when there's a woman in there, all is lost. The conversation is lost.
Do anything to warrant you to, y'all are liars. We can't relate to what you experienced, love.
You lying right now. You said I'm hurt. And you can't tell me why. All you're doing is
I
deflecting.
don't know why you're hurt. You know why
Why'd
you're
you
hurt.
say I was hurt then?
You're yelling. Calm down.
Man,
Are you
this
okay?
is passionate. Yo, I'm telling y'all, this is the only country where
You lack communication.
how they supposed to talk. In another country, she would have got shot out the door.
You don't know how to communicate. You're
This is the only
yelling.
country.
Let's break that down. Let's break that down. What does she mean? You don't know how to communicate. So what she's saying is, or what women in general, let's put this in women in general saying, if your husband comes home and she's sitting around the house and the trash is full, and you're tired and you want your wife to take that trash out, you just can't come tell her, baby, take the trash out. You gotta communicate the way she wants to be communicated to her. You gotta say, baby, honey, shabashi, honey, your bunches of love, Cocoa Pops, give her a kiss, give her a little back rub, how was your day, blah, blah, blah. And then you gotta say, could you take the trash out, right? That's what she said. Women want to be looked as your equal. She wants you to talk to her like you're talking eye to eye with another man. Women, if you talk to them in direct, if you're direct and voice tone is, you know how your voice tone is very, you ain't even got to yell. You just got to have a very hardened voice tone. She is going to she's going to tone police you. See, women are fighting, and this is why I think they're bad for the conversations. Women are fighting to be on a level with men psychologically. So when they're in these conversations, they're coming to represent themselves to be on a man's level psychologically. Meaning, you need to respect me like you respect the other man here. And that is what happens when they get misunderstood. So when you say something, maybe a constructive criticism, and you're not disrespecting her, she's going to take it as disrespect. Right? Who you talking to? Who hurt you? And because they feel like you shouldn't even address them like that at all. And this is where we get the back and forth, the name calling, and different things like that. And then once again, the conversation becomes counterproductive. There's no point.
Where the woman can talk crazy to their man and don't expect to get knocked out.
You're yelling.
This is the only, and it's our sisters too.
But why are you yelling?
Man,
but why are you yelling?
Man, if you want me to show you how to yell, I'll show you how to yell, but I'm not yelling. Why?
He's not yelling. It's just the more you keep asking the question, the more his voice level is going to go up.
Why are you yelling? We're all on the platform.
Why the bass of your voice sound like a man? You trying to
say? I don't know.
You didn't see that once again. We just a bunch of fighting. Just a bunch of nothing. Not even to waste the whole 3 hours. That's crazy because I got 3 people much. 3 hours on why they're going to waste 3 hours on why she can't understand what he's saying. And then he's going to keep repeating himself over and over and over again. And she's going to keep disagreeing over and over again. Just a one big circle. That's talking in circles. See, one thing about women, they care about wins and losses. And, so they don't want to, and especially they don't want to lose to a man. Definitely don't want to lose to another woman, but definitely not a man. And that's where the conversation is treadmill. Just treadmill. Treadmill. And this is why the divorce rate is at $800,000 a year. If women are divorcing at $800,000 a year, you know what that means? You know what that means? They don't like the person they with, which is a man. So trying to invite them on these panels and have conversations with them is futile. Nothing's going to get solved. Women are standing 10 toes down on everything that they fought for. They're not for the acquiesce to a man. These women, I'll play these few videos and I'm in the show. But these women are here to win against men. And I think that's Manosphere's biggest mistake by allowing women up on these panels. Because in my opinion, women, they're not there to be counterproductive. They're there to be counterproductive. And being counterproductive is very unproductive. So I'm playing this last video, then I'm end the show. This last video. And then I'm probably do a live in about a few minutes. I got to go take care of a few things.
A lot of women are very, very, very delusional. And so they have these ideas about men in their head, what they want these men to be. It's like they got a movie and they have a cast. And there's a role for this knight in shining armor that's going to sweep her off her feet and worship her and only her for eternity. His eyes see nobody else but her. His phallus sees nobody else but her. And so she wants that man. She finds a man that she likes. She creates this picture. She's driven by sex, and she wants to trap that man to worship her for eternity. And if he does not play to every single thing that she has in her mind, she wants to blow up the world. She wants to set off a detonator to destroy everything around her if things don't go exactly her way. And so what I come to realize is that a lot of men are struggling trying to placate to the delusions of women. Well, here's the problem. Women don't live in...
Thank you for coming to the show. Hit the like button. Until next time, I'll be back in a little bit. Got to take care of a few things. I'm out.